Hello everyone, my name is Teacher Lena and welcome to my channel. I am an ESL online teacher, and in this video I want to talk to you about some frequently asked questions about BlingABC. Well, like I said, I'm an ESL online teacher, and if this is your first time to my channel, well, thanks for coming. And if you have not already subscribed, I really would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel and like the video, because I put out new videos each week. So if you like videos like this, and if you want to see more, please go ahead and subscribe. So, like I said, this is frequently asked questions about BlingABC, and I just thought, hey, why not put all those questions all together? I'm sure many people have the same questions. So let's begin with, who can work for BlingABC? You know, there's so many companies out here, and many of the companies have very specific qualifications for you to be able to work for them. And one thing is having a native neutral accent. So if you have a native accent, you can work for BlingABC. It needs to be a native neutral accent so that it will be easier to understand you if you are, not an English speaker. So a native neutral accent. And, there's many people all over the world who would qualify for this. But what I have started to notice, and for whatever reason, it is a time right now where things are very competitive. So what I have noticed is that many people, I'm sorry to say this, but many people from South Africa right now are not getting past the application process. So I'm not saying they don't get past the application process. I'm just saying that I have noticed that many people are not. So for whatever reason, that's happening. But if you go to the website, it does say if you have a native neutral accent, then you can apply. So go ahead and apply if that if you fall under that category. And if you have a bachelor's degree, and if you have a TESOL, because you need to have a TESOL or a TEFL in order to work with BlingABC. And if you don't have one, well, you can get one. It is not hard to get one. You can get one. I can help you with that. Just by paying $20, you can get one in a few hours online. Seems kind of crazy, but it's true. So, okay, let's get into the next question. How long are the classes at BlingABC? The classes are 40 minutes, and there's a 10-minute break in between each of the classes. So I do a whole breakdown on the pay for those classes because it is kind of confusing. They give you a pay when you get your contract. They give you a pay rate per class. So it's not per hour. So if you get your contract and it says $16 per class, well, that's not that does not mean they're telling you something that they advertise falsely. It's true. If you work 40 minutes, you get $16. If you work for an hour, you get $24. And that's kind of what the average is. So that's how much you get paid for a 40-minute class. Then also, do I need to wait until July to teach? This is a popular question right now because we are now in May, and because they have sessions, some people are wondering, well, if I don't start, if I start now, will I have to wait till the next session begins? That's a good question. Most of the time you do have to wait until the session begins before you get classes, but sometimes before then, there are classes that pop up. Like just today, I got a class that was for 3 classes in the period. So, it was only for 3 and it was going to end in June, but that was just today and it's May. So that can happen if you are starting before July. You can get some random classes that just kind of come up because sometimes people just want to have a couple of classes. But normally the classes are for a whole session. Most of the time. So you would be teaching for 4 months the same class, and it would be either twice a week or once a week. And yeah, so those classes would normally begin at the beginning of the semester. And but it's really good to get established before those sessions begin, because you want to have your name ready to start giving out classes. Like my contact person told me today, he's like, make sure your schedule is set so that you can have classes start classes to start being assigned to you very soon. I mean, they're starting the assigning process now. So you want to get in, make sure that you have everything in order so that you'd be ready to receive those classes. Okay, and then when you have classes, you have a whole set schedule for 4 months, and that's kind of nice to know that you are secure with those classes. And then if you don't have your full schedule, because oftentimes when you start, you won't have a full schedule. You'll just get a few classes because you are on a probationary teaching period. And so if you are thinking that you want to have a full schedule for the summer, well, if you are just working for BlingABC, it's most likely you won't have a full schedule with them until your second contract or your second session. Sorry. So it's nice to have a second company to work with along with BlingABC. So you make sure that you have the income that you are hoping to get if you need that. So yes, word to the wise, it's probably not going to be full right away, so plan for it, okay? But it's a great place to stay for a long period of time because the bonuses and the pay is really nice. So next question. How many children are in a class? Well, these classes are, they're group classes. It's rare. I don't know that anyone has ever had one student in a class, but they are group classes. And the classes can be as small as 3 kids or 2 kids, and they can be as many as more than 15, 20 kids. So yes, they could be large classes, but it's not bad because you have full control over the mute of each of the students or the groups of students. So it doesn't get too loud. You can always find who is making the most noise. Like if they have a noisy background, and you can mute that person and turn on the mutes or turn off the mutes if you want to hear everybody all together. So it's very manageable, and that's another thing. How can you have so many students on a platform, one platform, where the students will rotate? You have a group of 6 students, and they could be seen on the stage. We call it the stage. And then once it's the next group's turn, then you press the button, and then the next group of students are shown, and everyone can see them. And then when it's not their turn, they're off to the side, and they can see what's happening in the class, and they can hear everything, but you just can't hear them or see them. But then when it's their group's turn, they get a chime, and that lets them know, like, oh, I'm on stage now. And then that group can be pulled down, and like you can have one student, shown so everyone can see them and they can participate. And the other students they're lined up on your screen, but I don't think everyone can see them. I think they're just seen by everyone if you pull them down, and then that one student can, answer a question or follow an instruction. So that is how it works with a large group class. And especially if you're a classroom teacher, it's really not bad. It's not difficult. You get used to it. I mean, of course, like with any platform, you just have to get used to the buttons and how to operate everything. But you get used to it, and I enjoy it. I like having all the students. You have the same students every week, so you get to know them, and they get practice. They do get practice, and while they are waiting their turn to hear or to answer a question, everyone is practicing, usually in the background. So they are getting a lot of practice, even though it seems like it's such a large group. And how can they get to practice? Are they learning anything? Well, yes, a lot of times the parents are even there making sure that the kids are saying something, and practicing along with the teacher and the other students. So yeah, they are learning and they are practicing, and it can be easily managed. Many of us do it. So unless you have a special case, you can do it too. So then what is feedback like with BlingABC? Do they have feedback? Yes, they have feedback For the large group classes, there is no feedback. You just answer like 2 questions about, was everything okay? Was there any technical difficulties? Is there anything that needs to be worked on or corrected? But if you have a smaller group, then you do have to do feedback, and they do give you specifics on how they want the feedback to be written. So you do have to do in-depth feedback for the students in the smaller classes. Next question. Do you get a lot of classes with BlingABC? Well, like I said, in your probationary period, don't expect to get a full schedule for the probationary period. That's your first 20 classes. So right now I'm still in the probationary period, so I haven't had a full schedule, but I did get classes. I had to wait for the session to start, and I got classes, and I had to wait a few weeks for that to happen, but I got them. And the people who I'm in contact with, other teachers with Bling, they are getting classes and they have full schedules. It just depends on what your availability is. There's a lot of things that play into that. What is your availability? What score did you get? Did you get a C when you got scored in your mock class, because you are graded? If you get a C, well, you're going to get less than the teacher that gets an A. And that's a very small percent. I mean, a very small percent of teachers get an A, and most teachers get a B. So how are you graded? What's your availability? And you have a TECO. Am I saying that right? You get a score. So as you're teaching, you are scored. You are evaluated along the way. So that also affects whether or not you're going to get more classes. And your cancellation, how often have you canceled? Have you needed to cancel? There's a lot of things that go into it. So what my experience is not going to be the next teacher's experience. So, but there are classes, and there are a lot of happy teachers at Bling. If you join their Facebook group, once you are hired, you will have a lot of interaction with other teachers, and you can ask a lot of questions. And you'll see a lot of teachers are happy at BlingABC. So there are classes to be given. What are tips? Next question. What are tips for the mock class or the interview? Okay, so if you are my recruit, my personal recruit, and if you want me to help you through the process, I do have one-on-one coaching sessions with people if you need that, and I do have a whole list of tips and things that can help you. But for the sake of time right now, I will just say that give it your best effort. I mean, when you're in an interview, you want to make sure that you're speaking clearly, you look presentable, you are showing TPR, and you have a big smile. Okay, you want to show a very nice, welcoming personality, and just pretend like it's any other job interview. So TPR and having a warm, welcoming presence is the word I was looking for, presence. So yeah, those are the tips for, just basic tips. And other than that, I mean, if you need help with learning how to be, an ESL online teacher, maybe you've never had that experience, well, that's something that I can help you with one-on-one, and I do have tips for that and all types of videos that help you, that can help you with that. So that, that could be built upon. If you contact me, I could give you more information about that, especially if you're one of my recruits. I do like to meet with you and help you with the process. And then, what is the curriculum like? That's another question. The curriculum is, I like it because it allows the teachers to bring their teaching to the curriculum. It's not like every word is planned out for you, and you have so many things that you're just constantly just reading what's on the page. No, you're given a sufficient number of slides. They expect you to go through all of them, and you do read. They give you teacher tips and they give you things to say, but at the same time you can add props to that. You can they have games that you can play during those times. You can it's not overwhelming for the teacher or the student, where there's so many things to remember and to do with the kid, or certain things that you have to do at certain times in your lesson. It's not like that. It's like they give you, like I said, they give you slides, They give you some tips on what to say, and what your goal is teaching for the slide. But then after that, it's up to you to how to teach it. Does that make sense? They're giving you the ability to teach using your TPR, using props that you want to add to that lesson. So, like I said, it's not where you are. I feel like I'm rambling. I think you get the point. Okay, and then the platform. How is the platform? Is the platform easy to use? Is it, how is it learning the platform? Well, I like the platform because like I said before, you can bring the students down. You can have them participate, and you have that one-on-one with the student. You can hear them, right? But with any platform, like with most platforms, I mean, there are things you have to practice and learn and to use. So when you're in the class, you know how to type on the screen. You could type words on the screen. You know how to use that marker to highlight one of the target word, or how to use. They have a highlighter. I think they have a highlight, or they have shapes where you can draw shapes on the board. You could draw a circle around a certain word or a certain picture, and there's a lot of things to do. You could change your color. I can't think of other things at the moment. You can erase the screen. You can erase one thing on the screen. There's a lot of things you need to practice, and I had to practice too in my first class. And actually, I did film one of my first classes, and in that film, I did show myself kind of going through all the features of the platform, because it was a little tricky to learn, and I thought it would be helpful for you to see, and where to find stuff, like where's the song for the lesson, if there is a song, and then where's the die, and so there's many things to learn with the platform, but you can learn it just like with anything else. But it is very interactive it has a lot of features for the teacher to use during the lesson. So I think I got through all the questions that I frequently get asked as a teacher of BlingABC. And, do I like BlingABC? Yes, I like BlingABC. I think it's great so far. I enjoy the fact that I have a contact person who I can ask questions to, and he gets back to me very quickly when he's there, because if I ask him at 12 o'clock my time, he's not going to be there. So first thing in the morning, though, I can expect to get an answer from him or someone else. And I do like that. I like that personal attention. I like the fact that you can get raises in this company, and they really, I mean, the sky's the limit. You can get raises, you can get bonuses if you plan on being with them for a while. It's not a quick fix. It's not something you get right away. You have to work at it, but that's great. I mean, do we want everything super easy? No. Well, of course it would be nice, but yeah, you do have to work at these things, but they have wonderful bonuses right from the very beginning too. And so for that reason, I do enjoy. I love working with the students. I like having group classes. I think they're different and fun, because I do have the students every week. I feel like I get to know them, and we can have more of an intimate relationship. Like we know each other, and I know their learning style. I know who to watch out for, who needs to practice more, who not to allow to write on the screen because they get a little too happy. All those things. So it's good. It's different. And if you have any more questions, feel free to contact me, leave a question down below, and other people can answer too. You can join my Facebook group, because I like to answer questions there, and other people can answer questions with each other. And yes, like I said, if this is your first time, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I do put out these videos and videos like this at least once a week or more. And please go ahead and like the video if you liked it. I hope you did. And I will see you in the next video. So thanks for watching. Bye.